Star Citizen 3.23 will be going live really soon, so I figured I'd make a getting started guide for the people who have just decided to join in on the Star Citizen fun. And we will be covering waking up, getting to your ship, and the first steps that you really need to do when you set your foot into the Star Citizen universe. So join me and we'll go on this journey together to figure out how to play Star Citizen 3.23. Alright, so you start with the character customizer. This is a new feature of 3.23 and I don't want to go into the details, but we start with the main thing. You can actually save and load your character, you can review it, and the fact that this guy walks like a duck that needs to pee is completely irrelevant. But you should be selecting the persistent universe. I recommend that you set with the new Babbage because it's kind of, you know, beginner friendly, the area isn't too difficult and so on. So you wake up in your bed. The first thing that you want to do is get up, and you can do it by pressing F or holding Y. On the right hand side is the future inventory, but currently it isn't working as of this patch. It will probably be coming in the point patch, meaning 3.23.1. The interaction system has been changed, so instead of previously you needed to hold F and click the buttons. This is, by the way, the spaceport of the new Babbage. You had previously had to hold F and click, and you can still do that, but the interactions have been simplified greatly, so we're gonna be touching that as well. This is an actual view of the new Babbage city, which is really beautiful city and wonderful. It is the day to day, so we're gonna be taking a little bit trip on its metro system, or I think it's like what it's called, metro loop. Yeah, so you have everywhere the contextual menus. For example, call elevator, press F. And in general in Star Citizen it is always press F to pay respects. That is kind of the universal rule. Only place where it's different is the elevators. In the elevators you still have to hold F and select the floor you want to go, and then left mouse click in order to get there. So we go to the lobby. And once you're in the lobby, you want to get to the spaceport to get to your ship and fly off, obviously. To get there, you need to go via the metro. So you will need to look for the transit platform. And in this case, in New Babbage, it's the MT Metro Loop. On the right hand side, you will see the Brentworth Care Center, where if you die, you will be respawned there. So do keep that in mind. You can change your, spawn location, and that's the first thing that we're gonna do actually in this guide. So this will be an episode how to get to the ship, how to get to the spaceport, how to fly and set your spawn point on the space station. And I'm gonna get to the why you want to set your spawn point as a space station in a moment. But first, you have to go and follow the signs that are saying Metro to the spaceport. And if you look on the top in the middle, it says train departing in 00, meaning we are departing now. Here on that label will also say when we are arriving and also what's the next station. On this particular loop there's only one station, and that's the new Babbage spaceport, so we are getting there. I have decided to show you a little bit of eye candy from the third person perspective, and by the way, I have taken off the helmet so I can enjoy, how good did I make myself in the Star Citizen, So you take the helmet off by pressing left Alt H. I'm not sure if the right Alt H works, but I assume that it does. But left Alt H will remove the helmet. Just do remember that you need to put it off if you will ever want to go, spacewalking or any other planet activities. Otherwise you might die a horrible death and respawn in the said Brentworth Care Center. So our metro loop is getting into the station just below the new Babbage spaceport. If you have been to any real metro or hyperloop trains or whatever, you know that usually they arrive under the airport itself in the real world. It's the same situation here. So we have arrived to the station, and the door, it will be open only briefly, and here you have new Babbage Interstellar Spaceports to the left. So just make sure that you follow the signs. And here you're gonna be getting to the elevators. Once again, as we said, press F to pay respects and it will say elevator called. So now we have to wait for the elevator to show up. By the way, if you press F, an elevator is not showing up, that means the server is borked and you should really get onto the different server. Now you want to be pressing the NBIS terminal. NBIS terminal stands for New Babbage International Spaceport Terminal. And obviously after a brief pause you will get there. So now we want to go to the spaceport lobby as indicated by the, guides above. To go there you have to pass through the customs, which is these scan gates, and you can see it once again on the top, spaceport lobby signs. So just keep following that and you will be coming to the spaceport itself. Note on the top left corner you have actually the minimap. This is a new feature of the 3.23 and I'm going to show you how to use it when we get to the station. Let's just marvel a little bit the beauty of the new Babbage Sunset as is before we go upstairs, and we will now want to look for the hangars because your ship is stored in the hangar. Also, currently you're using public hangars. Personal hangars will be coming in 3.23 point patch, and then I'll probably need to redo this guide because it's gonna be a little bit of a different. However, once you press that you will get and retrieve, you have to press it twice, do remember that, at least initially. And then it will tell you that it's in hangar 4. So you come to the call elevator, once again, press F to pay respects, and then you get in, and you hold F and select hangar 4. There is your marker, which says hangar 4, the type of the ship that you're using. For this guide, I'm assuming a lot of you who are new to the game are going to be using Aurora or Mustang or Cutter or something like that, so I've wanted to take a ship that practically resonates with you guys, and it's a good starter ship, and honestly for Star Citizen you don't need a bigger ship than that. If you want to support Star Citizen, that's a different story and you can do that. However, as you can tell, this is a good enough ship, so I'm pressing now left Alt H and I'm putting my space helmet on because once I'm getting in the ship I will be going places, Once again you come to the door, it says press F to open door, so you press it F, and at this point you press F to close, and then you're getting into the press F to get into the pilot seat. Now I'm using the HOTAS, the dual VKB SpaceX Evo, but I believe the key to turn on everything, and by the way I'm using Tobii. By the way, did you know that Tobii is on 15% sale discount? I will be providing the referral link in my comments below, which means if you follow that link you can get yourself Tobii and wonderful eye tracking opportunity for 15% off as long as this sale is ongoing, which I think is to celebrate the release of 3.23. So now I thrust upwards, whatever it is on your keybinds, and then slowly you want to be pushing, throttle forward, and you're going to be going quite slow while your landing gear is down. And this is a new feature in master modes, so while your landing gear is down, I think it's the landing operator mode or something like that, regardless actually of the mode, as long as the landing gear is down, you cannot go faster than 30 meters per second, which is great because it prevents you from crashing horribly into any other place that you know. Once the gear is up, you will be going to the standard SCM speeds, which stands for SCM, Standard Combat Maneuvering. This is where your shields work wonderfully and your thrusters work in the combat speeds. You cannot engage the quantum drive and you cannot go faster than that, but we're in the atmosphere, so ultimately we don't care. I just wanted to capture this beautiful sunset for you. So now what you want to be doing is pitching upwards, and you want to go up almost straight up until you see a row of the dotted skies above, and that's the space station, as you can see it right about now. So now we are in the SCM missile. If by holding B, I believe, you can switch into nav mode. And what you want to be going into the nav QTM. Nav QTM means nav quantum, and now the marker around it is the port Tressler, where we want to come, which is the space station, is red. So now I'm pressing the boost, as you can see by the shakiness, and the altimeter says 10,000 meters. The moment we cross, I think, 12, so the quantum drive comes online and it's calibrating. The moment it gets calibrated, you want to be pressing and holding left mouse click, in which case you will be doing the quantum boost. So now we have boosted all the way to the port Tressler, And we should be getting closer. So I actually switched the operator mode to nav FLT, which allows me to go with the faster speeds, faster flight speeds, up to 1000 and I believe 200 meters per second, just to close the gap quite quicker. I'm going around 400-ish to keep a nice approach velocity. And once we get into the range, the ATC will tell us that we can actually contact them for the approach vector. Please contact ATC to land. So I think it's now Alt-L or Alt-N. Don't hold me. Please let me know in the comments. This will give you the approach vector and the marker to your hangar. So what you want to be doing is slowly approaching this, and I typically switch to the SCM speeds just to make sure that I don't go faster. I'm not putting my landing gear down until I have come very close to the hangar, just to be on the safe side, so I don't run into the outpost. And I'm treating you with a nice, wonderful outdoor views, just to make this guide a little bit more, interesting. So once again, I'm tilting my head using my Tobii Eye Tracker 5. And now I am just turning towards the hangar, and as soon as I get closer, I'm gonna be pushing my landing gear, which is either done, I think it's by N or Alt-N. I don't recall. Check your keybinds for that. And now you can go up to 20 or 30 meters per second. So you have the pip that is going towards the hangar 4, and it shows you where you're gonna go. It's basically your velocity vector. It's basically by closed and opened brackets, just close to the hangar 4. So I'm gonna slowly glide this thing in, ever so slowly. You want to be going really slowly and carefully as you're coming along. And you can see I'm thrusting a little bit upwards just to get some distance. And once I get closer in, then I'm gonna be slowly killing off my, horizontal velocity and just touching down ever so gently, as you can tell. Here we go. There we go, beautiful. I think by holding U, you can turn off all of your devices, which is actually quite nice. And then holding the Y button will get you out of the pilot's chair. So, finally, you press F to pay respects and open the doors to get into the hangar. So the reason why we're going here is you saw me waking up, having to go all the way using the metro system to the spaceport. Well, if you spawn in the space station, there is no such thing. You can spawn and you can immediately get to your ship. So your time to ship is much faster, and you have all the necessary services, typically, the armor, the weapons and all that in one convenient place. So that's the reason why you want to spawn at the station. By the way, when you come, it's a good practice that you get to the fleet manager and that you actually store your ship, because then nobody can actually take it, and it's much safer. So by pressing F2, you get a map. And ultimately we want to get to the medical supplies, because here we can define our bind point. So if you just click here and then press R, you will be setting a route, and this yellow line will be guiding you all the way to the medical center. I mean, this one, Port Tressler, is quite straightforward, but there are other stations it's quite easy to get lost. So we're going to be getting to the medical clinic, and what you want to be looking for a terminal that says insurance. So, and that's this guy, so regeneration. So when you come here and then you press the accessing records, you want to be pressing the transfer imprint. Congratulations, by pressing confirm, you have set your spawn point to the Port Tressler. So now if you die, you will just respawn here, and then you can easily buy armor, weapons, refit, call your ship, and just get into the adventure. So good luck, you have made a very good successful step. In the next guide, I will be talking about how to completely for free get yourself equipped with the armor and weapons. So if you haven't seen it, stick around, press subscribe, and I will be seeing you in my next video. But for now, thank you very much for watching. This is Gromforks signing off.